I mean, we came here honestly to get us a support system for, getting ready for private school. We had decided to make the transition and realized it was a much harder process, especially academically and test-wise, than we had anticipated. And so, we wanted to make sure our girls had a good environment to be prepared and without maybe the stress level that my wife and I would put on them. So I think the Embrace seemed like a great place to help them get that confidence and really know what they were attacking when it came to the testing for purposes of private school. Yeah, so the testing went great. I mean, look, I think one of the things that made us really nervous is we had them take a test sort of on their own before we started here at Embrace, and it was an eye-opening experience, not because my girls, weren't smart enough to do it, but really it was a test that a regular school, no matter how good, wasn't preparing them for. And so I think we realized we needed someone to help us who had more experience. And Embrace really did that. I mean, it took them from spots where, they may or may not got into the schools they wanted to really succeeding. And also in an environment where they didn't feel stressed about the tests. They weren't worried about it. My wife and I were more worried than they were, but they just thought it was something they had to do, which I think was really important, especially for my older daughter. Yeah, so my older daughter is in 4th grade. My younger daughter is in 2nd grade. So they both transitioned to Pingree this year. In those entry years. I think they understand the right balance between what you need to do to be successful in the test, but also like that these are little kids. This isn't something where you can push them to this point where they're nervous because it actually makes it worse for them. I think they do a good job of speaking to the parents, engaging the parents' goals as far as what the kids need to understand, while making the kids feel like it's just sort of part of a process. Tutor really, I think, facilitated that and kept, honestly, my wife and I calmer than I think we would have been at without Embrace's help. And again, I think the testing for the schools is difficult and outside of what should be expected, honestly, in some kids at that age group. I think, school for them is something they can handle just fine, but the testing was just a different level. Yeah, I mean, I think that the Embrace tutor we worked with was really good about sort of talking to us as parents and making sure that we had the right focus for the test. I think that she, kept us calm while also assuring us that our kids would be prepared and, and sort of informed us about how she was attacking the test so that when we got home, we could provide sort of the right support for, so how she was thinking about each section, etc. So it was a very good line of communication, both via email and phone and in person. So I always felt like I knew what they were doing, and I knew that they were sort of gaining substantive knowledge as the process went forward.